happens when a 90-year-old oil tycoon billionaire passes away and leaves his Playboy bunny wife out of the will? The answer? A lawsuit that takes so long to settle that even the plaintiff doesn't live to see the verdict. You think you remember the Anna Nicole Smith story, but you have no idea just how wild it really was. From playmate to pill abuser, from her husband's death to her son's to her own, with a lawsuit that reached the Supreme Court. There was never a dull moment when Anna was in the spotlight. This is the 1990s. Totally scandalous. I'm Tracy Stump, and not only am I obsessed with true crime, I'm also obsessed with the 90s. So we're gonna be breaking down this decade's most infamous crimes and scandals with the celebs who lived through them. And who better to discuss the saga of stripper/reality star Anna Nicole Smith with, other than the one, the only, no filter necessary, Gilbert Gottfried.
Your dad is a moron! He's a moron! You know what a moron is? I consider myself an expert on Anna Nicole Smith. I majored in it in school.
On November 28th, 1967, the woman we now know as Anna Nicole Smith was born as Vicki Lynn Hogan. She quits high school and just 2 years later marries a cook at the chicken shop she's working at. At the age of 16, she gives birth to her son, Daniel Smith, the 8th. So just 1 year later, she leaves her husband, moves back home with Daniel. Now, to pay for both of their bills and her double D breast, she begins working at Walmart and dancing topless at strip clubs. In 1991, at a club called Rick's Cabaret, an unusual love story becomes a familiar tale when Vicki Lynn encounters the 86-year-old J. Howard Marshall.
He was an 86-year-old oil tycoon at a strip club. Does that feel on brand or is that weird?
See, at J. Howard Marshall's age, I don't even think he knew he was at a strip club. He thought, hey, I'm in my living room now.
Vicki Lynn comes out prancing, and J. Howard Marshall did nothing but sit. Okay, this is how he courts her. They get lunch the following day, and when Vicki tries to leave, Marshall hands her an envelope of cash and tells her she'll never have to work again. Ever. The duo's 63-year age gap makes for an unconventional pairing, but there is one area where Marshall is very old-fashioned, buying her love.
He gave her $6 million in gifts, and people are saying that that's enough. Like, that was her inheritance. Do you feel like that's fair?
If he was that generous, I would have sex with him.
And in 1992, our vixen makes the cover of the magazine that's only picked up for its articles, Playboy. For her next big break, she signs on to start modeling for Guess Jeans, and that is when she starts using her new name, Anna Nicole Smith.
So she changed her name from Vicki Lynn to Anna Nicole? What kind of career move is that?
I'm thinking of changing my name to something more Gentile.
Like what?
Sven.
In 1994, at the age of 26, wearing a white dress with ample cleavage, Anna Nicole marries her 89-year-old sugar daddy, J. Howard Marshall II.
So they get married, no one comes. All the fold-out chairs are empty. He's in a wheelchair, she's in a very revealing gown. She has to leave right after the ceremony's over to go to a photo shoot in Greece. He starts crying. Thoughts, feelings?
You've got a guy who should have been dead 50 years earlier. They just should have handed him 2 basketballs and said, oh, Anna's still here.
You think the marriage was never made official in the bedroom?
If the 2 of them did have sex, please don't tell me about it.
Now, it is kind of a short-lived union because Mr. Marshall passes away just 14 months later, but don't you worry, he remains a huge part of Anna's life. Now, it's hard to believe, but Anna wasn't even mentioned in the billionaire's will. So Anna takes his estate to court, and a 20-year legal battle ensues. Marshall promises Anna half his estate verbally, but Texas courts need it in writing. Confusingly, a California court rules Anna is entitled to an inheritance, but Texas, they don't care about California. So, long story short, Anna gets, wait for it, nothing.
She gets nothing, Gilbert. Not a penny in the will. Isn't that bananas?
She's walking around going, I showed her my breasts for nothing?
The verdict doesn't sit well with Anna, so in 2006, she appeals to the Supreme Court.
Don't you think one person in the middle of that trial would have stood up and said, excuse me, this is the Supreme Court.
You would think, but this is America.
Due to the absurd nature of the situation, the lawsuit becomes headline news and the media goes crazy covering Anna, and she becomes famous for just being famous.
The reason the media was so obsessed with Anna Nicole Smith is because the media likes stuff that's important.
So in 2002, Anna Nicole gets her own reality show with the title, The Anna Nicole Show.
Just give me a bunch of stuff. Hurry up, I'm starving.
It does gangbusters for E!, breaking all sorts of records. All of a sudden, ratings decline. No one cares about Anna anymore. Show's canceled.
Nobody can see me now.
But its insanely catchy theme song lives on forever. At this point in her life, she's kind of seen as a clown. No, literally, she made a clown video in 2006.
I need some gas poot stuff so I can poot it out. The clown needs some medicine.
She was drunk and on drugs.
And over the next few months, her life has incredibly dramatic ups and downs and more downs. On September 7th, 2006, at the age of 39, Anna Nicole gives birth to her daughter, Danny Lynn. And just 3 days later, her son Daniel dies of an accidental drug overdose. And then just 5 months after that, Anna Nicole Smith dies.
Do you think she lived a good life? Like, just looking back and just kind of like recounting her whole story, do you think, on the scale of life, where does she fall?
I once asked Anna Nicole Smith about this, and I'll never forget what she said. She said,
Thank you so much for hanging out. I feel like I know a lot more about Anna Nicole and her will because of you.
I say you can never know enough about Anna Nicole Smith.